back this week. I'm Rossato.
And I'm Gaston Rossato.
This is season 4, episode 11, and we have a very rare opportunity today.
That's right, we're looking at the 2020 488 Pista, but more than that, we're comparing it right next to us. Here are the 458 Speciale.
Yes, the Speciale is a car we've done before, but we're going to focus a little more on the Pista today.
As usual, let's go for a drive, but before that, hit subscribe.
Yes, hit subscribe for us. Let's go.
Sitting in the 458 Speciale. 2 episodes back, we did the Aperta. It's really hard to tell the difference between one car and the other as far as performance is concerned. The fact is there probably isn't any difference. And if there was, we're certainly not going to feel the difference here on the public roads. But this car has always been a blast to drive. We're chasing the 488 Pista.
Not even trying to step on this car, and it's don't tell me this has an automatic start stop.
I've never driven a 488 Pista yet, so this will be my first time. So I like the fact that I'm driving this car first to really distinguish the difference between one and the other.
Definitely not as loud as the Speciale. I think that's one thing that the Speciale will always have over this is the fact that the noise is not going to be the same. As we know, this is a 3.9 liter twin turbocharged V8, while the Speciale has a 4.5 liter naturally aspirated V8, and you can't beat that naturally aspirated V8 sound.
All right, Renzo, you've driven this car already. I haven't.
Right.
I'm a fan of the 458. Maybe I can convert over to this.
Quick overview: 597 horsepower. In between these two cars would be the 488 GTB. That's 660 horsepower, and we have the Pista. That's a whopping 710 horsepower.
Same.
The front hood here, this is designed by Ferrari that they call an S-duct. So that's just designed to get that nose down and on the ground so you can hit those corners hard. You're comparing it to the GTB, the 488 GTB. This whole front end is completely different. The only thing you get the same are the front headlights. That's it.
I think there's a lot of people disappointed because now the F8 was just introduced.
Right.
Essentially the same engine and very similar performance numbers. You know, this is not a cheap car. We're talking about maybe, roughly 350 window.
Right.
But if you want one today, they're trading in the upper 400s, lower 5s, even up to mid 500s depending on the mileage.
And I mean, the aerodynamics of the car is way more aggressive when we look at the 458, which is standing right next to it, which when I first saw the 458, I go, man, look at this car, look at all these details, things you missed out on. But this has just so much more.
It's a whole nother generation of car. They just keep outdoing themselves.
Right.
They keep, you say what else is next, and they just somehow deliver.
By the way, I was able to find the automatic start-stop button. It's up on the top where the light is. You have the little symbol there to turn it off. So let's take a look around this car. First of all, this color is beautiful. In the sunlight, which is not in the sunlight right now, it shines. As we know, this is the Pista. This is about 200 pounds less than what the 488 will be. I feel like the jump from the 458 Italia to the Speciale
was a lesser gap
Yeah.
Between standard 488
In the Pista.
And the Pista.
Yeah, 100%. When you open it up, immediately the difference I can tell you is the glass is the only thing that's opening up. When you open up the 458, you have some part of the trunk on there.
But the engine looks so small when you look at this. You know, it really isn't that much smaller if you compare it to a 355 or cars that we've seen in the past.
Right.
I guess we have that misconception knowing that it's a turbo car.
And look at this carbon fiber. I mean, it's just beautiful. If I'm not mistaken, this tail here, they call it the dolphin tail. And the design here is just incredible.
Right here in all the newer Ferraris, we have a plaque from the factory that gives us a list of the options.
I mean, you gotta love Miami. They're delivering something to one of these buildings via helicopter at the moment, so it's a little loud. They finished the delivery, we can continue. I think now it's your turn to drive the Pista.
Brand new car smell, 56 miles on this example. Wow. Right now I have the car in automatic mode, so we're just kind of getting out of this congested area. And I can already tell you it shifts so much smoother than the 458, giving you a very genuine automatic type feel. You almost can't believe it's so civilized, understanding that it has over 700 horsepower and it's a track beast. In fact, it was it is still perhaps the most powerful V8 Ferrari has ever produced. So the fact that you get these two worlds of absolute animal and civilized car here in the city is just mind-blowing. It really is. Tone. The car is quieter than the 458, of course. It's not a naturally aspirated car, but you know, they gave it, there's a little valve noise there at a certain RPM range that just opens up and it gives you a little bit of that traditional sound.
Yeah, big difference when I do that compared to the Pista. Man, what an incredible day. What an opportunity. We can't thank our buddy enough who trust us with these cars.
Truly, truly, truly. As we said, not the ideal circumstances to be driving these cars in the city, but a hell of an opportunity. We're talking about a 50-mile Pista and an 800-mile Speciale. So, you know what? I'm not complaining.
No, I'm definitely not complaining at all. What's your opinion? What do you feel?
Well, if I got to wrap this up, you know, I talked about it a little bit in the car. It's so civilized. You feel like you could drive this thing as a daily. It blows my mind how you can have 700 horsepower and be so civilized at the same time. Much more user-friendly car than the 458, which I thought was a very user-friendly car.
Well, you and I share the same opinion because I had the same conversation when I was in the car as well. I was surprised of how smooth the suspension is compared to the Speciale. Speciale is a lot more rigid.
If I had to go with a car to keep it, I can only pick one. It'd probably be this one here. Just because I love the simplicity of the design. I love the fact that it's end of an era, like we talked about so many times already before.
Even though this is the latest and greatest and it is beautiful and I'm not taking anything away from this car, it is gorgeous. I would stick with that Speciale.
But let us know in the comments down below, what car would you pick?
Yeah.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. We'll see you next week. I want to thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button.
I'm Renzo Rossato.
And I'm Gaston Rossato.
Next week.
Later.
Peace out.